again. My name is Draft Raw, and if you have been following me, I've been doing a series. It's called the 32 for 32 series. That is 32 NFL team drafts for 32 straight days. And if you can tell by the title of this video, this will be about the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, to just give a quick rundown of what I've already done the North teams for the AFC and the NFC. I've already done the East teams of the AFC and the NFC. And now I'm in the West teams. I've done the NFC West, and now I'm in the AFC West. And this is the last team in the AFC West, the Los Angeles Chargers. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it with the very first pick. The Chargers decided to select a player that has been getting a lot, and I mean a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just been a lot of hoopla, if you know what that means. Basically, probably the most polarizing prospect in this draft. In terms of, he's been talked about a lot, and not in a good way. I've been hearing so many bad things about Justin Herbert before they drafted him. He doesn't have the personality to be a great quarterback. He's late on throws, and he's just the prototypical Pac-12 quarterback that's, is probably just going to flame out within a couple of years within the NFL. Here's my thing. When I watched Justin Herbert, I saw the most gifted passer in this draft. A guy that not only had a strong arm, but had uncanny accuracy to go with it. Tua and Joe Burrow are two players that they don't have the cannons of arms, but they got darn good accuracy, right? And then you look at the Jacob Eason or the Jordan Love of the groups, right? And both those players, they have pretty big cannons of arm. Probably Eason will have the biggest arm. But when it came down to it, when you added the certain throws that Herbert can make from the pocket, it's mind-blowing. And it's one of those things where it's just like people may be looking too much into it. Patrick Mahomes, a couple of years ago, people looked too much into it, right? Strong arm guy. He actually had pretty darn good accuracy, but he had a weird release, and he came from an air raid offense. He can't work. Andy Reid gets him. He is the quarterback whisperer, and he works. When I'm looking at Justin Herbert, I think Justin Herbert can be one of the better quarterbacks within the NFL. I think that he doesn't have to literally have the personality to be able to win games. Like, that has nothing to do with winning games. Being able to perform on the field comes with leadership. And even if he's not a great leader, Joe Flacco, he wasn't one of the better quarterbacks within the NFL. I mean, he was always top 16, top 12 quarterbacks in the NFL. Pretty much. But he was able to take his team to a Super Bowl. And I'm not saying that's Justin Herbert. I'm saying as though we put too much stock into guys being leaders at quarterback position. Because Joe wasn't the leader. Even after Ray Lewis, Joe was not the leader. But they were able to win it. And maybe you could say, well, when Ray Lewis left, they wasn't able to win as many games. But this is what I would say to that. The Ravens had a bad string of drafts preceding after the Ray Lewis retirement, after the Super Bowl. They had a lot of bad drafts. If you actually look back at those drafts, it wasn't until probably 2000. They won the Super Bowl in 2013. It wasn't until the 2016 draft where they kind of was able to get back to like actually getting playmakers or just guys that are pretty darn good. So what I'm looking at for Justin Herbert, I'm looking at a guy that I think can be an exceptional quarterback that shouldn't be getting the all of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Just all of the hate that he's gotten. I think that this was an excellent pick by the Chargers, and I think that y'all can really tip your hats to Tom Telesco. Is that your GM? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the Chargers organization like that. But tip your hat to your GM for sitting there and saying, look, I'm going to choose my guy, and I don't care what nobody else thinks, because I think that he is a guy that can make it in the NFL. With that very next pick, they pick one of my favorite players in the draft. And that was Kenneth Murray, linebacker from Oklahoma. And he was like I said, I felt Kenneth Murray was a top 10 pick in this draft. Absolute stud. I felt as though people were pushing down his stock because he was an inside linebacker. He wasn't the, I guess you can say, the outside linebacker safety specialist like Isaiah Simmons. Obviously, he's not like a pass rushing linebacker type situation. But what he brings is, he brings leadership to a defense. He brings playmaking ability that at the inside linebacker position you don't get. How many inside linebackers in the NFL right now are playmakers? Exactly. I'm not saying none of them are, but there ain't a lot. Bobby Wagner maybe. But does Bobby get a good amount of sacks or interceptions or forced fumbles or anything like that? He tackles, right? Tackling behind a line of scrimmage is also a big thing too. That's playmaking. This is what Kenneth Murray does. This is why I feel as though giving up a second and third round pick to me was not that big of a deal. I felt as though it was the right thing for the Chargers. I felt as though it was the best thing for them to do. And the reason why it was the best thing is because at the 23rd pick overall, you got a top 10 player. And I think that with already you having guys like Derwin James and Joey Bosa, it just, and Nasir Adderley, the other safety. Can't think of who y'all corners are, but I think y'all got pretty good corners. Melvin Ingram. Y'all picked up the guy from Notre Dame last year in the first round. His name is, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but Jerry Tillery. Y'all got players, y'all got guys that are pretty darn good. And that with him, y'all could really build an excellent team and an excellent defense. And I think that these first round picks, could really lead y'all to a future to eventually finally win the thing that has been eluding y'all, and that's a Super Bowl. So now just getting to the last 4 picks in this draft. In the 4th round, y'all selected Joshua Kelly, running back, UCLA. If I'm looking at my notes, he's a power runner. He's a good pass blocker, and he shows nice bursts. That's pretty much what you're going to get from him. I do think he can be a starter for your team. I know that y'all have the other running back that ended up being pretty good for y'all because Melvin Gordon wanted to, do what he wanted to do with his holdout, and to me that hurt his stock. Personally, I think that hurt his stock. But I think that a good replacement in Joshua Kelly, I just felt as though, first of all, Joshua Kelly, like Justin Herbert, played at the Senior Bowl. And the way he played, I thought he was the MVP. And they gave it to Herbert for whatever reason. I just think probably because he's a big white boy with a huge arm. And I'm being dead serious. I'm not trying to start anything, but you know how typical NFL, how they do. But I think that Joshua Kelly was a guy that really showed out during that game, which you having a lot of good players, a lot of all-star type of players, and that are going to play in the NFL. And I think that he does have a chance to be a starter in this league. It may not be his first year in the NFL, obviously, but I think that he has this ability, that this burst that he has is really, really tremendous. And even if he's not like literally elite at anything in terms of catching the football, anything like that, and just running the football, he is like a really, really solid guy. He just has this ability to be able to make plays at the running back position. With your next pick, y'all decided to go the wide receiver route and choose Joe Green from Virginia. I liked the Joe. Joe, man. He's an inconsistent route runner, but he's a yards after catch specialist. Like, you get the ball in his hand, this dude going. He also, with that, he actually, they sometimes they put him at running back and had him run the ball, which then also they put him back in special teams as a return guy. So you're getting versatility with this pick. And I think that this guy has a chance that even with the versatility as a special teamer, you have a versatility with him where you can use him all over the field, especially possibly in that slot position. Get him a quick little slant, boom, he catches it. And like I say, he's a yards after catch specialist. He knows how to break tackles and get down the football field. So I think this is a really solid pick for y'all. With the next pick, y'all decided to go safety, defensive, on the defensive side, safety, Alohi Gilman, Notre Dame safety. Just a guy. He was pretty average. There was nothing really special about him. This to me, it just seemed like a special teams type of pickup. I think that he will probably do really, really good as a special teamer in the NFL. And it just seemed like, I mean, even if it's not just that, it's also built, you build depth at the safety position. Derwin James went down last year. I think he came back a little bit later, but you'll have some depth. And even though he's not like a great player, he's a solid player that will be able to be a starter. And then with the very last pick, y'all decided to select KJ Hill, wide receiver from Ohio State. Another just a guy situation. He's a slot receiver. I think he does have a chance to be a pretty solid receiver in the NFL because of his slot receiving ability. But the problem that I had with him is that he wasn't a great route runner. I do think that there's a chance that he could become a great route runner, or just a good route runner, but he wasn't a great route runner. And the other biggest thing is that a lot of times at Ohio State there was a lot of Justin Fields running around throwing the football and not just standing in the pocket like 3 step back, 1, 2, get rid of the football. 1, 2, 3, okay, get rid of the football. This guy sits there 1, 2, 3, 4, running. Oh, KJ Hill open, let me throw it. That's not being a good receiver. That's just being able to be there where you need to be, which is reliable, I guess you could say. But you're not showing anything where most offense in the NFL are going to do. You're not showing that much. So it is what it is. But anyway, that was the last pick in the draft for the Los Angeles Chargers. I thank anybody for watching. Once again, if you wanna know about any future videos or past videos, look in the description box below. Next, I will be going for the South, so I will be starting with the NFC South. So if you want to keep watching the videos, I'm going to the NFC South and then the AFC South, and then I'm done. 33 straight days, technically. One day I had to work, so I couldn't do a video. But still, 32 straight days of giving you fire content. Once again, my name is Draft Raw. I thank anybody for watching. Goodbye.